We are now live. Hello, everybody.
It still says we're waiting.
Ah,
Hold on. All your subs. Let's go to.
I think we're live.
Ah, no, there we go. Right,
There
it's
we
live
are.
now.
I love when we do the little testing and I hear my voice just creep out of your phone there.
Yeah, it's okay though, because nobody's watching, so it's fine. Be as terrible as we want. Oh god, no, we've got 2 people watching now.
We've got the usual shenanigans of what goes on at the start of our streams. I think people just want to come to the streams now just to see how badly it can go. Hello and welcome to another amateur podcasting association. Hello.
My volume is quite low though, that's the only thing. You might need to adjust mine up.
Right, here we go. This is what you're all here for. Right, NDI source.
Top YouTube mountain bike contents.
That's what it's all about, mate.
Through pissing around with OBS Streamlabs.
There we go. I think so. You should be a little bit louder now.
Yeah. Does that? Let me.
Let's do the official test. I swear to God, we always check all these things on live as well. So don't worry. Like it's just some things you just can't predict when it goes live. Your channel.
Oh, I'm echoing again now.
I swear to God, we always check all these things on live as well. So don't worry. It's just some things you just can't predict when it goes live.
Oh, that's strange. You coming out of me.
I'm echoing again now.
Oh no, I can hear you. You're loud enough.
Yeah, but I'm echoing.
Oh, that was really creepy.
Let's see if that works.
Should be working now. So if you're in the chat, pop in a hello, say where you're from, and all that kind of good stuff. And if you're going to be riding through the week or anything like that, I hope everyone's doing really well today.
No, I'm definitely echoing.
You're definitely echoey.
Yeah. Tell you what,
share your screen. Everybody can see what goes on in the background behind one of these absolutely pristine and well-rehearsed live streams. We all come on half an hour beforehand in order to try and get right, and it still goes wrong.
We do as well. That's the really important thing.
Yeah, I know. Right, get rid of my Skype window there.
There we go.
Right.
Right, so I put your NDI source up, and then you got better, but then it started to thingy. So.
I wonder if that's me coming back at you.
What about if there's desktop audio? If I do that, does that work?
That's better now, because I've just turned my speakers down, and it's not picking up you on the microphone.
That could be it as well, you know, because because mine does that, because it used to do a little bit of interference with the microphone and stuff like that.
Yeah. Tell you what, stop the share now. Let's get on to the content and let's
get on to the good stuff, eh?
Yeah. Let's chat MTB.
Let's do it. Right, so everyone, checking the stream on YouTube. Everyone's doing well. Everyone's got a cup of tea or something, or whatever you want to drink, beer. All is good. So, Mr. Casual MTB, how are you, my good friend?
I am very good, thank you. I've had quite a nice day today, actually.
Excellent.
Apart from having to do the hoovering and the cleaning and the tidying up, it's been a nice day of going to watch the B-52 bombers take off from our AFF earlier this morning.
Oh, you lucky duck. I do like a B-52. You know, I really want to see a Vulcan. That's what I want to see. But didn't they stop flying them a long time ago?
Yeah, they stopped flying that in 2017, I think it was.
Yeah.
It's because they don't have any support for the project anymore, and all the major partners pulled out, like Rolls-Royce and Avro, or the people who took over Avro, and all the old boys who used to know about maintaining them, for want of a better word, died. So they don't know how to
Generation just
maintain them
wiped
anymore.
out.
It's all that good fun stuff. How's your day been anyway?
Not bad. So it's been pretty productive. I've been doing some video stuff, some video content. I have currently finished the video that's going out tomorrow. So it's basically what happened a while ago. My old man decided he was going to start riding his bike to work, and he had a series of like really like crap bikes that were just enough to get him to and from work. And he had like somebody sold him a bike for like a fiver, and it was like a really like bad like Walmart sort of style bike. And then because I've been riding my Caliber for I think it was just over a year and a bit, I think, or under a year, maybe somewhere around that area. I said to him, I was like, why don't you go outdoors and let's have a look at the bikes there, because the Caliber bikes there are pretty good. So he ended up with a 2 cubed, which is going to be the video for tomorrow. So people get to have a look at 2 cubed, and he's really enjoyed the bike, to be honest with you. It's been a solid bike. I've been impressed with it, and I'm going to ride it a little bit more. I'm going to be doing like a full review on the bike as well, to give people a kind of like a sort of a hands-on sort of approach towards it and stuff like that. So yeah, but it's solid bike so far. Can't complain. That's going out tomorrow, and I've been working on some stuff from Interflon as well. So many of you will know that I am now carrying my own discount code. I'm moving up in the world. It's great. I'm quite happy with the fact that I've got a discount code now. I think it's all I've ever wanted in life. But yeah, no, it's pretty much been busy, doing some photo shoots and stuff like that tomorrow for some product stuff, and emailing a lot of companies and bits and pieces, all the boring stuff that kind of goes on behind YouTube channels and stuff like that, especially at the lower end anyway. So that's been about it really. You what, sorry mate?
Work stuff.
Yeah, work stuff, you know, the boring stuff. It's like but yeah, no, there's stuff on the way which I think is going to be quite exciting. And next month I'm sinking myself down south. My friend, who people have seen in previous videos, my South African friend, he made the wild suggestion that he's going to drive up to mine, and he's going to go ride some bikes around my area with me, and then I'm going to go back down to his. We're going to go to Bike Park Wales, we're going to go to Truscan, a couple of other places, Quantox, all them kind of areas, and then we're going to go and get lots of video content out of that. Videos, photos, all that kind of good stuff and that. But mainly I'm going down for Bike Park Wales, because I want to go ride Kermit. Because Kermit looks brilliant.
Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it? It's a green, but it looks ace, doesn't it?
Yeah, exactly. That was like, it's a green. I can ride greens, I can ride blues, you know, reds, blacks, all that kind of stuff. But like, I really like. I was watching Ben Deacon's video the other day. I can't remember which one it was, and he was basically chatting about like where they were doing like blue runs for laps, like just for warm up laps and stuff like that. They kept on going back to the blue because they thought it was the best trail, because it was just, you can absolutely blast it and just go down like an absolute hoodlum.
Yeah.
I like that kind of stuff. I like to go like relatively fast on bikes and stuff, so it suits me down to the ground really, to be honest with you. So just doing party laps.
Yeah, it's funny because it's like I kind of get the feeling sometimes that there's a little bit of snobbery with bike trails and bike grading and grading trails.
Yeah.
So there will be some people who say, "Oh, I'm not riding the blue, that's boring," or "I'm not riding the green, that's boring," and all this kind of stuff.
You're not riding it hard enough.
Yeah, whereas if you just like absolutely steamroll it the whole way, you can make a trail as fun or as not fun as you want it to be. Basically,
Yeah.
it doesn't need to be just a blue or just a red or just a green or whatever. It can be as black as you want it to be, which actually sounds quite racist. I probably shouldn't say that. Saying that,
It's my stream as well.
It's black diamond as you want it to be by
Yeah.
gapping loads of things or going faster than the trail is supposedly designed for, or making your own lines and all this kind of stuff. So maybe that's the thing that needs to be thought about more in mountain biking, is making your own fun with the trails that are there, rather than saying, "Oh, I'm not going to that place; it's boring" or whatever. A lot of people say that about Swinley, actually. Swinley
Yeah.
Forest, which is near Bracknell. It's quite flat, so it's quite pedally. But again, it's one of those places where if you put the effort in, you'll get a lot more out of it. Whereas you can't just go down the roll in and then just not pedal for the rest of the entire run like you can at somewhere like Wind Hill or Bike Park Wales or somewhere like that. So,
Yeah. No, this is the thing. Is it's like what you put into it is what you get out of it, kind of thing. So like I remember when I went to Chockwell, my local woods, for the first time, and like when I was a youngster, and we had back then they had a really cool little off. Um, yeah, it was a North Shore sort of section, and the North Shore bit there was like they had like a little kind of like seesaw and bits and pieces and skiddies and stuff like that, and that was really really cool. I really enjoyed that. And then like all after that was like there's a red that goes all the way down to the bottom of the hill, and then it mixes with a black and stuff like this, and it's okay. Like I can do a few laps of it, and it's like quite a steep uphill to get back to the top. Um, I don't mind that. However, because I've got better on my bike and I've pushed myself, I've found parts on it which I can absolutely like rip completely and utterly. And it's just so much. It's such a fun course to go on, and it's just so much fun because I can just absolutely tear arse it down, and it's just so much fun because you feel like a pro biker. You feel
yeah.
like you're just kind of like ripping into it, and it's just like it's so good. Um, yeah, so that's kind of like my sort of thing that I'm kind of enjoying doing. Uh, but like I think you say it, you've got to kind of put more into it than what the track gives back. I think
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, definitely. Because there's a run near me that's called Ladder Lane, and it's a bridle way, and it's only 76 meters of climbing or descent, whichever way you're doing it. But if you go down it quickly, it's just as scary as any other downhill run that you could possibly go to. It doesn't have drops or anything because it's a natural bridle way. It's just been worn in because people have walked that way for X number of 100 years and all this kind of stuff. But it's rough, it's rooty, it's probably the best downhill run that we've got in Swindon,
Yeah.
or anywhere around the area, probably until you get to somewhere like Windhill. And again, if you go down it slowly, yeah, it's boring. It's just like riding down a normal cycle path.
Yeah.
But if you go down it quickly, it very, very quickly gets super scary.
Yeah.
Especially if you're doing, especially because it's under the cover of the woods as well. If you do it at night and your lights make all the routes look like gaps and drops because of the shadows and things, it makes you think twice. But the only way to get down there properly is to do it at about 20 to 30 mile an hour.
Yeah.
So you've got to properly pin it down. And then the climb back up is technical as anything as well. So it's all about, like you said, putting as much effort into it as you want to get out of it. Really, it's not you're not paying, so it's definitely no uplift service and no easy rolling and all this kind of stuff.
What's your opinion on uplifts? Do you like them or?
Oh, so I've never done an uplift day actually. I mean, they serve a purpose, but these days I would say actually it would probably be more fun to go on an e-bike.
Yeah. This, could e-bikes be the death of uplifts?
Potentially. I mean, they're getting very good. And if battery tech can get better and lighter to the point where, the weight difference to a normal bike is, you're talking a couple of kilos rather than what it is right now, which is 5 to 10 kilos, which is quite a lot, then I think, everybody's just going to go end up buying e-bikes, certainly for trail centres and things.
The young lad that I rode with, Ryan, who's on EMBT, I'll get a link and I'll post it in here to his channel. He has an e-bike, and his is 24 kilo.
Yeah.
And that, to me, that doesn't sound over the top. It doesn't sound like it's gonna. But when you pick it up, you're like, Jesus, it's heavy. But you don't feel it when you're riding up. It's when you're down, when you're going downhill.
It's what you're used to as well, though, isn't it? It's definitely what you're used to, because I've ridden a friend's e-bike quite a lot, and I love the hell out of it. It's great fun. I'd love one if I could afford one. He's got a Merida e-bike, and the weight makes a difference, not really in how playful it is, I find, but certainly in how planted it feels, and it's a lot more confidence inspiring in going off things and going off drops. In fact, I think it probably handles itself better than a lot of other normal bikes would, certainly on the downhills. And then on the uphills, it can get you to places that you never would have ever had access to previously.
Yeah.
And that's one thing that Mr. Danny Mccaskill has been saying about his e-bike as well.
He loves his e-bike.
Obviously, he's got to sell them as well, but on the other hand, he's saying that it allows him to ride places he could never have even had dreamt of getting to without a motor underneath him as well.
Yeah.
And it's just as much hard work as it is a normal bike.
100%. Like, the thing is, this somebody came out with this idea, that it was like, I'm just gonna pop once this goes in, kind of perform inside streamers in the red. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, like once you get into this sort of like, there's a link to Ryan's channel I've just put in there if anyone wants to go check him out. Is the guy with the e-bike. It's an interesting way, like, to ride bikes. I think e-bikes are just like, they just power through anything, really. And I remember when the fat bikes came out and everyone was like, whoa, fat bikes, whoa. Nobody wants a fat bike, this, that, the other, and they're just mad machines. And then I saw, like, my friend, he bought one, and then he was like just powering through everything. Like, it didn't stop. It just steamrolled through everything, and it was really interesting to see him ride it, to be honest with you. And he was a big guy as well, and I was just fascinated by them. And now you've got like e-bikes, and now you've got fat e-bikes, full suspension fat e-bikes, and all sorts of, like, Frankenstein's monsters kind of creations of all these bikes and stuff like this. And it's just like, it's super interesting though, like to see how mad they get. And then of course you get other things like bamboo bikes. And it's just like, I've never in my wildest dreams, like when I was a kid, think like, yeah, they're gonna stick electric motors on bikes so we can go up to the top of trails and then like explore further and farther and stuff like this. And I was like, it didn't never even entered my mind, to be honest with you.
Yeah, exactly. I never would have thought that e-mountain bikes would have existed even 10 years ago. I mean, it's just a whole different world, isn't it?
There's people who go, it's cheating. I'm like, it's not cheating. You're not in a race. Like, to cheat means that you're in a game or a race or something.
Yeah.
And that like when you're putting weights in your boxing gloves and stuff like that's cheating.
I think the way you got to think about it is not cheating as in positions with a race and things like that. You've got to think about it in terms of the amount you can do in a set amount of time. Because that's the difference that an e-bike makes. It allows you to do more in the same amount of time than you ever would on a normal bike. And you still expend the same amount of calories as you do because you're going further or you're going higher or you're doing X number of laps more and things like that. But people never see it that way. They always see it as, oh, you're burning less calories than me, therefore, or it's less effort for you than it is for me. They think about it that way rather than, if I go out for a power hour at my local trails or whatever, I could do a lap, maybe two, and then I'd be absolutely buggered and I'd need to go home. Whereas on an e-bike, I could do 3, 4, maybe even 5 laps, and it would be really, and I would get way more fun out of it. And that's really where they shine, I think.
No, 100%. Like if I see my local woods is Chopwell, and that's like 7 to 8 miles away, and you think that's nothing, absolutely nothing, but it's all uphill.
Yeah, on a normal bike, it's horrible.
And I've got a full suspension bike, you know, and it hasn't got lockout on the rear, you know, and it saps your energy. By the time you get there, and the uphill sections are steep as hell anyway. They're so steep, and it's just like I'm absolutely knackered after doing because don't forget the downhill section as well. That really saps you. I didn't ever think I was thinking like you just ride downhill like you wouldn't be knackered. I get down to the bottom of like some trails and I'm like absolutely completely blown out my arse. I'm like just sucking wind through every orifice I can.
Yeah, and your calves are collapsing and your chest hurts and all the rest of it.
All those kind of like memories of PE comes back again. You're like, but that was the bit that baffled me as well. I was just like, what? How? Surely it's the uphill bit that hurts the most, but no, I actually quite enjoy the uphill. It's very rare you hear people talking about that and go, yeah, like 100%, like it's the uphill part. Like I really like the uphill. I like the challenge. I like it's the achievement. For me, the downhill bit is the prize, if you will. And I feel like I don't get it wrong. I'll go to bike parks and I'll go to uplifts like till the day's gone down. But I'd love to do like longer trails. I'd love to go like like the Peak District or the Lake District and go like kind of like get lost in the mountains and stuff like this and kind of just do that sort of thing. And the downhill bit is the reward for that, for all your hard work that you put into it. And I feel like that's the purpose of the uphill, to give you that reward. And people, yeah, because bike parks are different. Bike parks are a different anatomy altogether, and they're all like it's just laps on laps on laps, and you get the downhill part, you get the reward part, so to speak. It's that kind of coke you wanted, or it's that kind of bag of sweets you wanted. It's that kind of thing. You know, but the uphill part is challenging and it's difficult to get into if you're not fit. If you're not that kind of, person inclined, you're not kind of like that kind of one who wants to go and climb and stuff like that. It can be potentially what puts people off biking.
Yeah.
Now, if an e-bike could get somebody interested in the uphill parts, so eventually they'll go, do you know what? Like I've had my e-bike for a long, long time. I'm quite interested in going manual, analog or whatever you want to call it. But could that work? Is the e-bike getting more people into mountain biking? I don't know yet because I don't know the sort of stats.
The other thing that I think one thing that e-bikes has revived in mountain bikes is trials, and I think technical climbing challenges.
Oh yeah, like Danny Mccaskill.
Because they lend themselves more to a moto style of climbing, don't they?
Yeah, that sort of enduro sort of style.
My friend Joe, who's been in a lot of my videos, he loves riding an e-bike up stupid steep sections of stuff.
Yeah.
And that's what he likes e-bikes for. It's for getting it up places where it shouldn't have any right to be.
Yeah.
And that's what he loves. You see a great big rock ledge that's like 5 foot tall or whatever, and he'll just go monster up it and shove his weight forward and get it up there. Because he's got the motor behind him, he can do that, whereas on a normal bike it would be impossible. And it's that sort of thing that I think is slowly starting to come back. And I think that actually it's making normal trials start to come back as well.
Yeah.
Because even here in Swindon, we've started seeing more kids out on trials bikes and a general interest in getting out on a proper trials bike, the low slung one, no seats, handle stupid long stem and all this kind of stuff. I think it's helped a revival of that, because people have seen people like Chris Smith on EMBN do those sorts of things.
Yeah.
And he came from a trials background, and seeing that he can do that on an e-bike means that, oh, actually trials is starting to get cool again, you know?
That's why I like watching Danny Mccaskill, like, especially when he does, like, he was up in Scotland and it was like absolutely chucking it down, rain everywhere, and they had this kicker and he's doing backflips and flares and stuff like that on an e-bike. And it's just like, oh, it's just brilliant to watch. Like, and even watching Danny like do like his videos where he does all of his like, he does all his trial stuff on an e-bike. It's just, oh, unbelievable. It's
Yeah.
it's brilliant to watch. But it's something I'm interested in myself. I mean, actually, to be honest with you, like now you mentioned it, like I had looked at some trials bikes as well, and I was like, do you know what? I'm quite interested in doing trials because, like, I remember when I did my Northern Rider podcast a long time ago, and over a year now, actually, that's really scary. I had Mr. Richard Enifer on, who was at the time my MTB crazed fool, and he he started off with a trials background. He was really into it, and I always remember the trials being very popular, like late, like well, it was popular maybe like 80s ish, but 90s. They remember that the 90s were like quite trials orientated, and like 2000s and stuff, because obviously you had like the Animal team of Martin Ashton and likes of like you've got like Danny Mccaskill and a few other people to kind of like to see them do all these sort of like huge drops on bikes, and it's just like it's mental, and it's just like I really like that. I just think it's a good problem solver as well, because it makes your brain think, because you've got to think, how am I going to get from point A to point B on the bike and be creative and stuff like this. It's really cool. I like it.
Well, just look at Ludo May, the extreme climber man.
Yeah.
Who uses trials in all his riding to climb stuff that just shouldn't be climbable on a normal bike.
Crazy.
If you have a look, if you go on his Instagram, some of his videos are absolutely mental.
I love stuff like that. I just love watching like big mountain stuff, like stuff that shouldn't be done, but it's done. It's just for the thrill of it. It's like, speaking of gripping onto things, I think you wanted to talk about some shoes as well, didn't you?
I do.
But that's segue.
I'm on the hunt for a new pair of mountain bike shoes because I've killed my 510 Elements, I think. Yeah. I think they are. I'm wearing them right now because they've now been relegated to my slipper shoes around the house. And my run up the shop, run up the corner shop, 2 minutes away shoes.
Yes.
Because they're so easy to slip on and off.
That's
but yeah, I have absolutely ruined these shoes. I mean, not as bad as some other people have ruined them, but they leak now, so I get water in the bottom, and the bottom of the sole now folds. I don't know if people can see that, but if I squeeze that, it folds all nice there like that. There we go. So I'm after a new pair of shoes, but the problem is everybody's skint at the moment, including me. So I don't want to spend 120 quid on a pair of new 510s. I'd like to spend, I don't know, 50 or 60 odd if possible.
I've seen some for like 4.
Something that'll last me a year or two.
Yeah, this is it. I mean, like there's a few places like Chain Reaction and places are doing some pretty decent deals at the moment. The only problem with the deals is when you go to look at the deals and they've literally just been posted, it's all completely sold out instantaneously.
Yeah.
It's like, like they keep putting some tires up for like 99 pence, and I'm like, oh, hello. Like, and they were.
Well, I think what that is they never had the stock in the size you wanted in the first place. I don't think they ever did. And what they do is they say that, this tyre is available in X number of sizes, in 27.5, 26, 29, 24 even if you're into that sort of thing. But then it'll be one really obscure size that nobody would ever buy that's available that's actually in stock at 99p. So it'll be like the 26-inch like buy, I don't know, 3
Yeah.
which is a tyre nobody wants. And that's why it says, and even if you whittle down your sizes and filter out your size on the product page, it still shows it up because it's in stock technically, just not in the size that you want. And I think that's what they do to be sneaky and get people onto their website, because once people are on the website, they click other things and they go buy other things. And it's the same with shoes, especially. Shoes are probably the worst for it.
Yeah.
Because they never have sizes like 8, between 8 and 11, because generally speaking those are the most common ones for a bloke.
Yeah.
They'll always have really tiny sizes
4.
or really super massive sizes, because those are the ones that they're left with at the end of the day. Of course they are, but they don't tell you that before they shove the link down your throat and tell you to come and have a look.
God no, why would they tell you? You know, it's just this is the thing really, because like I always like to look for bargains, and like I'm so like reluctant to spend like or to part with my money on products which I know that they are going to reduce within like a few days. But you've just got to be so quick, and you've got to be like literally sat at your computer. It's like, when you used to buy like gig tickets and it was like it's coming out and like it's 000 and it's just like you be clicking like buy, and it's just like, and then it just disappears. It's like sold out. You're like, oh, what?
Yeah.
It's the same thing. It's just it baffles me. It really does. I need, well, speaking of new shoes anyway, I need to get some new tires for my bike because the I've got obviously the upcoming trip to Bike Park Wales, and I've got the same tires that I've had on that bike for 2 years now.
For Bike Park Wales, don't you? Because it only comes with a 2.2 on the back, doesn't it? I think.
On the Evo.
Yeah.
2.4. I think. I'm sure it's 2.3 to 2.4. I think it was.
Oh, okay.
But I was thinking about getting wider tires anyway. But then I was like, do I really need wider tires if I'm already on like semi-thick sort of tires?
Yeah.
I don't really know. It's one of those things where it's like, if I get the wider tire, is it gonna like change the way that my bike feels, the handling and stuff like that, or whatever, But then I also want to go tubeless. So running lower pressures on the tire and this, that, the other, and stuff like this. So yeah.
Are you still running the WTBs on it?
That's the ones. Yeah, the trail bosses.
Yeah.
I'm surprised I haven't like completely ripped them like the rest of the bike. So
yeah.
Did I mention in the last stream what happened to the rim?
I think you did, but remind me.
Yeah, I think I did. Yeah. So basically, when I took it into the mechanic, he was saying that the rim has got like structural sort of like stress marks on it, and it's like it's basically the rim's failed. But obviously the main problem that brought him to look at the rim, or the overall health of the rim, was the fact that the spoke got ripped out. And I was like, how? Like I wasn't even doing anything gnarly or anything like that. I was literally like, I was like cycling up a hill, and I was like, oh, it's went ping, and I was like, oh, jeez, like really annoying. And the funny thing is, because there's a theme. If you're in the Caliber Boston Riders group, there's a thing about the hangers. Like the hangers are like rocking horse shit. You can never get them. And the message is back like, unfortunately, like some of the parts I can't get till September. And I was like, I know which part it is. Like I'll ask in the group. I'll see if anyone else can send us one. It wasn't. He got the hanger like that, and I was like, what? How's he gonna? Because like obviously like he's got his own sort of like I don't know how he'd say it, like their own suppliers, I think, or he knows a specific supplier that's got all these things, and it was the mech, the rear mech, that he couldn't get a hold of till September, and I was like, oh.
I did see someone posted on the group a couple of nights ago. Actually, they posted a website of a machining company that do mech hangers for almost every bike you could conceivably think of.
Yeah.
I'll have to dig out that link. I can't remember what it was, but they did have the Caliber mech hangers, because I think they, for the Bostonat's original one, the 2, and the Evo, they're all the same. It was only when they went to the 2020 that they changed. So I think it's all the same.
I wish they would get spare parts, like more accessible spare parts, because it's driving. Well, it's driving people crazy, but it's driving me mental when in the group it's just like, who's got spare parts?
It doesn't strike the best amount of confidence into most people, but then 99% of the time there wouldn't be this demand for them, to be honest.
Yeah, under normal circumstance, this is the thing that people have got to remember. Like, your things aren't going to get delivered half the time because, like the demand it's so great that the systems can't keep up with the stock, and then they oversell things without realizing, and then they go, right, we'll have to refund you because we haven't got that product, or you can wait a bit longer. It's entirely up to you, and that was the thing that really kind of irked us a bit, because people are just like, why can't I have my things yesterday? Like, and it's like, well, because of the pandemic on, and it's not normal circumstances. They're understaffed. They're tired. Give them a break. Just because you want to get out and ride your bike. I mean, I want to get out and ride. I can't get on my bike till September now. So,
Yeah. You can unicycle.
Yeah, I've still got my BMX. Do you know what? I'm wanting to do a bike rebuild. So I've got my old Specialized P1 jump bike, which was a mullet bike.
Oh, that would be a good video to do.
I really want to do that, but I want to get the parts for it. But it's going to be so expensive.
Oh yeah, parts.
Yeah, that whole thing. If someone wants to sponsor me to build this bike,
yeah,
dream bike build, it's just like, I looked at the prices of things and I was like, I can do it slowly, over time, and maybe do like a few episodes of it or whatever. But it's just like, but yeah.
It's one of those things where if you were to do it within your means, you would end up buying the components so far apart that by the time you get round to buying the last component, the first component will be out of date and be being replaced by the next model year. And you'd be like, well, not a dream build anymore, is it?
Nope, not at all. I think it's got I think the forks are okay on it. I think the rims are Halo SES. They're white, and they're lovely. They're lovely rims, like sturdy as hell. Like, I think they're like double walled or whatever like that, and they're just like absolutely mental. Like, you can batter the shit out of them. Like, I've took them from skate park because it was a skate park built mountain bike, like a dirt jumpery type sort of thing, and it was great. I loved it, and it was a mullet bike as well. So it's 26 on the front and 24 on the rear, and it was just like, just so good. I had a gyro on it as well, which I was
a gyro
on a mountain bike as well. I was like, this is like 2004 or 5 ish, maybe 6. So it's it's a fair while ago, and for them to have mullet bikes and gyros on bikes, then it was like, okay. Because I often see people who are like, mullet bikes, that'll never take off. That's a new fad. It's like, no, they've done it before. Because with mountain biking, you see all of the crazy fads like from the 80s and stuff like that coming back round again, and it comes back with absolute vengeance, and it's like, no, I'm not interested in that. Yeah.
I'm just having a look actually. How does a BMX gyro work? I've never actually looked into this.
Right. I looked into this a while back. It's super confusing because it's basically like the two plates, with the plates, and they pull apart through the cabling. But I'm still like really, really confused about like how it separates. That's the part that got me. What on earth is that noise?
My dog's come to say hello.
Hello.
Hello, Barbara. You dumb dog. This is the dumbest dog in the world. Yeah. Oh gosh, she's off.
We've had live animals on the show now.
Exactly.
There you go. Yeah, so it's basically essentially separate and pull apart because there's cables, like because there's two different types of gyros, and there's the two nubs that go like down, and there's two nubs that go up.
Yeah.
And then it's like the plates are separated in that way. Wizardry, witchcraft and wizardry. That's all I'll say to that. Unless anyone in chat knows.
It's just being called a detangler, and that's all they call it.
Yeah, detangler was a thing. I used to remember the guy who used to ride at my local skate park. He had a armored cable as well with his gyro, and it was like a really like I wouldn't say it was steel. I'd imagine it was aluminium or some kind of an alloy.
Like it was a braided cable.
Yeah, it was an
Like,
armored cable, and it was
something.
metal. Yeah, and it was really cool, really cool. I'd quite like them for my bike actually. Um, obviously if you get them like your frame protected and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because that's gonna like metal on metal. It's just gonna like absolutely break your bike.
Yeah.
But still, you know, it's the armored cable thing is because I've seen them on e-bikes as well because they've got quite a bit of armor on them anyway. There is actually on the e-bike. I've noticed on Ryan's bike. There's one cable that goes from because they've all got a heads-up display.
Yeah.
And it tells you how fast you're going, and you can change your settings on it. So like you go into boost mode or whatever. The cable for that goes from the computer to the battery, it seemed quite vital, but it was the thinnest cable.
Yeah.
And it wasn't protected. Whereas I like the brake cables and stuff were armored and things like this. So I was like, really interesting to see why that wasn't so protected when that was like an electrical cable that went from the battery to the computer and stuff. So
that's probably because it's never under tension, really, is it? It's never. It's not being used to pull anything or do anything other than send a signal.
yeah,
So as long as it can go, as long as it can be relatively held in place, the likelihood of it being hit, I suppose, is relatively low, I guess.
no, absolutely, yeah.
Or at least hit hard enough to damage it.
The problem like the time when he rolled, I was thinking like, if you have like an accident like that, if you hit the trail and you go over like OTB or whatever, like what's the impact of the cables?
Yeah.
Because that'd be really like because he said cause the thing is he said like when he was riding his bike up the lake Kielder, he ran like he went on this trail and he ran out of juice on his battery and he had to cycle it back, and it was heavy. Like that would be my concern, like especially if it like your battery broke or something like halfway through the trail and stuff like this. It's like it's a monster of a bike to pedal.
Yeah.
It's just it's mental.
That's
The only thing that would put me off an e-bike actually.
Yeah, I mean that's where having an extra battery pack would really help. But I have, on the other hand, seen quite a lot of warranty claims go through for motors for e-bikes as well.
Yeah.
And it seems to be quite common that the motors have to be replaced on an e-bike.
Yeah.
Although you don't tend to hear about it that much.
No, I've not. I mean, it all depends. If you're into e-bikes, then you'll probably see it a lot more. You know, if you stand out in the sun long enough, you're gonna get burned, kind of thing. You know, it's that kind of thing. I think because we're all used to analog bikes and we see all the main problems or whatever comes up with a specific brand, etc., etc. You know, so yeah, it's probably going to be that sort of like side of things as well. Like, but yeah, no, like that. I mean, for me, that would be the only thing that would put me off an e-bike is the fact that you're going to have you've got this potential issue with the battery, and that's the thing that kind of keeps the bike going.
Yeah.
That would scare me, especially if you're right in the arse end of nowhere and you're relying on that battery. You know. So yeah, no, I think it's definitely something. Speaking of new bikes as well, I see that Caliber have now released, or they've changed their website. So the website's now showing when you go onto enter site, it basically says that the demand for bikes is higher than ever at the moment. If you want to get one, make sure you check the Go Outdoors website daily. You can also call your local store and find out what they have. The estimated arrival dates of our bikes are as follows. These are approximate dates and they are changing frequently. So basically they're covering their own backs here, because I think this is potentially going to go tits up for them because of the sheer demand.
I'm worried about what's going to happen when we get to Christmas, which is normally peak bike buying season, isn't it?
Yeah.
Everybody gets a new bike for Christmas.
100%, mate. Yeah, it's especially with some of the more budget bikes that Caliber's putting out at the moment. really good components, good parts on it and stuff like that. So the kids are gonna be wanting something that's gonna last them, and the parents are gonna want something that's well within their budget.
Yeah.
You know, like a couple of £100 is. I mean, my specialized P1 was about £500 back in the day, so that's probably anywhere between like £600-700 now. Maybe it's a bit less or something like that. The parts, the components on it, really good. Manitou stance forks on it as well, so the forks run backwards. Which always used to confuse people. Hey, forks run backwards!
Forks with the bloody crown that goes the wrong way.
Yeah, your forks have been put on the wrong way around. No, that's supposed to be like that. So this is the updated sort of message from Caliber at the moment. So they've got line 10 not currently available, line 20 not currently available, and the line 29 not currently available. Black Boss Nut is mid-September. Black Boss Nut, so that's mid-September. Triple B mid-September. Triple B Pro mid-September. 2 Cubed not currently available. Rake not currently available. Boss Nut Red mid-September. Dark Peak, which I'm very interested in, mid-September. Sentry mid-September. The Saw, which is actually a really good entry bike, end of September. Blade mid-October. Stitch mid-September. Sentry Pro mid-September. Lost Lad, another good bike, mid-September. And the Astronaut, which is not currently available. I think they're doing a bit of a reshuffle with their bikes by the looks of things.
They have got a lot of models at the moment, haven't they?
A hell of a lot.
Compared to what they used to have when they were just concentrating on 2 or 3 key models, they seem to have loads out now, don't they?
Road bikes, gravel bikes, jump bikes, full suspension bikes, hardtails, enduros.
Yeah, but those are things you can't get in. It sounds like you basically, if you want a mountain bike, it's Boss Nut, Century, or Triple B, but no hardtails.
Yeah, essentially, it's going to be interesting to see what they're doing, because like, yeah, no, I'm definitely, well, be interesting to see what they're going to be doing with these bikes, because it seems like they potentially might go up. Like they might get a few models and then maybe condense it down to seeing what's selling, what's not. You know, I mean, they've got a limited edition Boss Nut on the website at the moment, which is the black with the red lettering. It's a limited edition. Why is it still on the website? You know, line 29, cracking bike. I think a few of the lads on the group, they've rode that. Really good looking trail bike, hardtail, quite hard to beat, I would think, in terms of price as well. They've got like the line 10 and the line 20, and then they've got the rake. I originally looked at the rake from my dad as well, because it was really nice looking bike, had some good specs on it and stuff, and I wasn't too sure if it was that or the 2 cubed, which was going to be better. The 2 cubed actually is a little bit better, and it's a little bit it's got a little bit more on the spec side of things as well. Price wise, you're looking at maybe roughly round about, I think it was the 500 mark, but I mean, once you've got the prices down from all your discounts, because don't forget you can stack your discounts of Go Outdoors as well, which is really, really cool, because we did the discounts that was already added onto the bike, and then we had military discount on there as well, and then bits and pieces, and it was like dropped the price like completely down, so that was really good. We've got Sweaty in the chat. Yo, what's going on? We've got the Cutter, which is a nice looking bike as well. Yeah, 29-inch wheels, 2 by, I think it is, or is it 3 by? I'm not 100%.
I mean, if anything comes with a 3 by now.
Yeah. Let's have a look. Chain set, Shimano Altus, 36 by 22. Ooh, interesting. 29 tan walls. Yes, all the tan walls, please. Let's have a look. I really wish that they wouldn't put the PVC, the plastic pedals. I wish they would sell it, like have an option to have like a decent pedal to go with it. That would be quite nice, instead of just having to buy your own.
It's because it's law. They have to come with a set of pedals, isn't it?
Yeah.
If it's bike anyway, I know they do, or a kid's bike. But I remember my boss that when I bought that didn't come with pedals at all.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think that when I bought that at the time, it didn't come with any at all, and I had to buy a set of nuke proofs, which I've still got on the bike, to be fair. That were there. They were just nylon ones, and they've served me pretty well, to be honest.
Interesting.
I don't get people's problems with nylon pedals. They work they work perfectly fine. And if you're smashing pedals every 5 minutes, you want the nylon ones because they're cheap to replace.
Doing something wrong, really, if you're smashing nylon pedals.
Well, old Sam Pilgrim manages it, but then I doubt that there are many riders out there that are the level of Sam Pilgrim. So
it's very true. Very, very true.
Wannabes.
Paul Williamson, nice to hear a bit of mountain bike banter. As always, yeah, pub talk on the internet without the pub. we'll be doing pub quizzes next week.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Tell you what, it's funny actually. You mentioned that you're not going to be riding until September, as long as your wheel gets fixed. From sort of mid-October onwards, I'm gonna be stopping riding because my third child comes along, so I'll probably have to take a break for a little bit to make sure baby doesn't try to yeet himself out of the cot and all that sort of stuff.
It is your child, so it's probably going to try and do that. It's probably going to have a mad idea.
Make sure the cats don't sit on its face and stuff and all that kind of thing, you know.
This is the part of childhood nobody sees. It's like the cat just sat on the kid's face.
Yeah. Exactly.
Scary stuff, mate. Scary stuff. Oh, dear.
It's gonna be fun.
I wish you all the best, mate. I mean, it's great that you've got another human being in the world. It's another potential cyclist.
Exactly. The last one. No more. No more after this one. After this, it's going to be dogs. Trail dogs.
Dogs and trail bikes.
Yeah.
Eventually, you're going to move to a nice big place and build dirt jumps in the back garden like Eric Porter.
Exactly.
That's the dream, mate. And then you're going to invite your kids around to dig all the dirt jumps for you, and then you're going to sit there and watch them.
Exactly. I'll have minions to do things for me.
All the day and just be like, yes, dig that double over there, please, while I send it.
You pump track now. You want dinner? You build pump track.
Oh dear me. Yeah. So I'm assuming this is my assumption here because we've got. Yes, I'm putting a massive assumption here. So we've got 10 minutes left. So people in the chat at the moment, all two of you. So basically what we want to do is we want to do this every Sunday. I know it's Monday. We want to do it on the Sunday so that people can like come along and chat for an hour and interact and stuff like this. So we wanted to kind of like drop in as many like social medias and this thing, if people want to follow in or things like this, or they want to kind of like follow myself or Justin, then go for it. Like we'll try and put bits and pieces like videos that we've been watching and things like this, just to kind of like spread the mountain bike love around. The bike and Viking I count as two. Dabbed as well.
Dab on the haters.
Dab on them haters.
Yeah.
Yes. So we're kind of like just kind of going for this kind of like spread the love everywhere. Everyone gets a good mention and stuff like this. This is a question actually, since we're on here now. Can oh god, where's it gone? This is the thing with YouTube. So can I? No.
What can you?
I'm just seeing if I can actually click on somebody's face on here to like go onto their channel or their whatever. Let's try and find it.
Okay, you're trying to see if you can get into the do that on the live chat.
Yeah, I was like, but I don't think so. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try.
Oh, I can report and block people if I do that.
You're all getting blocked.
Yeah.
What I'm gonna do is, oh good lord, the thing is like the whole internet just slows up because we're doing the live stream and it's like here we go, I've got it now. Right, so if people are in this stream now, you'll see the Viking He is one of our other YouTube blokies.
Well beloved in the Caliber Botnats world.
Our bike mechanic extraordinaire.
Yeah.
So that is his channel there. So everyone go and subscribe, like, and spam his comment section. That would be very endearing of you all. That would be lovely. So yeah, we want to just kind of like get everyone like involved in big chats and big group sessions and this, that, the other stuff, and talk about bikes and things like this. Yeah. So Justin, where can we find you on the internet?
You can find me everywhere. I'm all over the internet. But I am at CasualMTB UK on Instagram and at CasualMTB on YouTube. I also have a Facebook group as well, just to sweep up the people who don't like to do Instagram. And I do interact with everybody on every single one. So you can find me on all those places, and we can meet up for group exercises like orgies and things, and all that kind of stuff. And it's going to be a great time.
Very my absolute favorite thing to do, group orgies.
Yes.
So what I'm going to do
Especially people who are into mountain bikes, as you know, they're the best orgy people.
because we're all a bunch of weirdos.
Yeah.
That's what it is. Right. So if obviously, because I'm assuming like some of the people on here have came from Justin's channel. So what you can do is, if you want to follow me as well, like literally you're on my channel now, the Northern Rider, it's the same as on Instagram as well. And also, if anyone's interested in, I'm going to do some shilling now, so prepare yourselves. Recently I got a code from Interflon. They give me a code to give out to people, so you get 10% off on your purchases from their website. So they've got some really cool stuff, which is like lubes, degreasers, and all that kind of stuff like that. It's really good stuff. I've been using Interflon for maybe it's about over a year now, and it's absolutely spot on. It's really good. I've got some videos on my channel, so if you want to go check them out as well, feel free. And then in the chat, if you go to their website, so it's bike.interflon.live, and then the code is it's just N, and then like, so it's Northern Rider 10. So if you want to use that, feel free. You can go on there. Basically, if I sell so many products, then I get like a pack of lube and things like this myself. So it's just a bit of honesty there, really, to be honest with you. But I'm going to be giving them away as prizes anyway. So
It's cool stuff, though. If I found out the other day after getting involved in a comment thread on your Instagram, actually, that they are a OEM supplier to the US Army for gun lubricants as well, which is pretty cool.
I was really interested in that. I was like, wow, they're Swedish by trade. They're Swedes. Yeah, no,
professional Swede.
They're professional Swedes. They're a Swedish company. But they're based out of everywhere, really. UK, Brazil, America, all sorts of places. Really cool company to work for. I don't work for them. Really cool company that, you know, they work alongside a lot of people, big names and stuff like this. But they do have a good team of support people for like the smaller people like us as well. Their customer service is really cool as well. This was before I started getting involved with them. They answered any questions I had and this, that, the other. So really cool, really nice people. And their products are just absolutely spot on, to be honest with you. I will. I trade in Swedes. Yeah, I don't think I'll be using anything else, to be honest with you. I think that's going to be my sort of brand, if you will, that I'm going to stick with. Yeah, so it's now officially 6 hours. I've got a Thai green curry waiting for us.
Oh, nice.
Very nice. So I'm going to smash that down my neck, and then I've got more work to do. And yeah, so thank you to everyone who's came into the chat and had a browse. That was a perusal in the browse there.
Prowls.
Prowls. Yeah, thanks for coming in and watching us too and listening to us too waffle on about bikes and bits and pieces. We will be live hopefully next Sunday. If not Sunday, it'll be the Monday.
Yeah.
The reasons why we would
easy like a Sunday or Monday evening podcast. Or
just gonna do Tuesday just to really throw people off. Because we were originally going to do every Sunday and stuff, but I kept on forgetting. Because I was like sat there on a Sunday going, oh, this is the life, I'm relaxing.
Remember, I said yes to yesterday, and then I forgot that I had to go to a gender reveal party of all things. So that stopped me from doing yesterday.
Oh, good lord! What a wild life we live.
Oh, I know. I got fed though for free, so I can't really,
Can't complain that, mate. I don't begrudge you for that. If you're getting fed, mate.
So I got free food. I'm not going to say a single bad word about that party now.
Being bribed by sausage rolls.
Exactly. Actually, no, it was a whole side of smoked salmon that did it. It was lovely.
Oh, yes. Oh, that'll do me nicely, that.
Exactly.
Cool.
When it's cooked by the grandmother, you know it's going to be good.
Oh, yeah, 100%. Yeah. Without a doubt. Cool, man. Well, thank you very much for joining us again.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you, everyone, for coming in and checking out. If you want to go check out Justin and stuff like that, there should be some links left in the description box below when I get time to do that. And you can also follow mine as well. And yes, you stay classy, San Diego. Thanks for watching, folks, and we'll see you next week.